We are off, guys, we are off. And once again, I've been left behind. We're heading over to Tusker. Is just braking now, braking the surface, and then over to Porthcawl, stop for an ice cream. You are very low down on the deck, and I don't imagine that you can see, but we're heading towards Porthcawl Point. I don't think it's even called Porthcawl Point, but that's Porthcawl on the bit of coastline dipping into the sea. And about 3 fingers off to the left, my finger's not yours, we've got Tusker Rock breaking out. And we're just gently wending our way out there, just getting a feel for the wind, which has swung around, getting a feel for the tidal flow, which will be about 3 knots right now, with about 2.5 hours of the tidal flow left. And then as we approach Tusker Rock, it should be slack water. And the plan is then, once we've explored the shipwrecks, that we head across to Newton Point, which will see us ferry gliding across the flood, just the start of the flood, so hopefully not too strong. My bit of sea looks calmer than Trish's. Tusker Rock is just there. We are making good progress. 30 minutes in. I'm not sure how many K we've covered, but we're level now with Ogmore by Sea. I gotta go. We are out in the middle of flipping nowhere. That's Porthcawl across there with the beaches and the ice cream. That is Merthyr Mawr sand dune over there tucked into Newton Beach. That's Ogmore by Sea. And I don't want to turn around, but we've come from all the way back there, Dunraven Bay, Witch's Nose. Whoosh. Now, I'm drifting off very slightly, but we're heading for that rock just out there. Right, let's get paddling. There we are, Tusker Rock. Home to at least 2 visible shipwrecks, but there are 4 that I know of off the top of my head. The Steepholm, the Liban, the SS James Gray, and the Maloney. We have arrived. We set off from Dunraven, which is all the way down in there. We set off from Dunraven at 1:20, so 10 minutes ahead of my plan, giving us what I thought would be an hour to come across to Tusker Rock. We've passed Ogmore by Sea, transited to the rock, about a 6k transit. We've done it in 40 minutes. It's 2 o'clock right now. So we are making the most now as the tide just finishes dropping, exposing these rock pools. And let's have a look and see what we can see in them, shall we? And then have some lunch too. Have a little poke to the other side. Tusker Rock is about 500 meters long. I'm not quite sure how wide. But on the far end are, yeah, quite a few bits of shipwreck. Let's go find out. Porthcawl. English Channel. No, it's not, it's the Bristol Channel, silly boy. And fine bits of shipwreck for us to see now before we leave. Looking in the first rock pool for sea anemones. There's a great big bit of shipwreck. Or if it's not shipwreck, it's somebody's anchor chain. Look at that badger. That's like the bit of the shipwreck from the tugboats at beyond Solva that I've got in the garden. Even the pebbles have been here so long they've got barnacles attached to them. It's been there a while, hey? Stay back there, Chief. Oh, gorgeous red coloured dog whelk there. It is amazing what's under the wreck. And the little tubes made by the worms that build their little colonies, their homes. And then all of these mussels. But not as much life in the rock pools as I thought we might see. Distracted by the rock pools, when suddenly that irregular shape just there reminds me we came over here for the wreck. Apparently the Liban, or the Steep Home. Oh, is that the propeller? No, that bit there in the camera. See that great big... Yeah, it looks like a propeller. Let's go to the boiler first. It's a bollard still. Let's walk a little further away so we can see it all. Ooh, great big girders and pieces of boat. Exploring the rock pool and following through the beginnings of the wreck here, I've suddenly popped up and realised this is a great big engine. Great big camshaft running across there. You see the cams, the lobes, whoosh, and the propeller the other side. Look at that bad Larry. Gordon Bennett. This trip has been on my list for years. Now we're here. That boiler in the distance, Gert Biggin. actual shipwreck. The great big engine block, a great big propeller, the most beautiful rock pools. I'm hoping to swim in one before we leave, but the tide has turned and I am mindful now of it coming in quicker than we anticipate, and in about 90 minutes this whole rock will be underwater again. What can we see now? A great big pulley block, bits of pipe work, two great big pulley blocks in the background, and a great big pipe. Looking over to Witch's Nose again, Dunraven. Not a bad little passage, getting bigger though as the tide comes in. We got the Witch's Nose tucked out there, Dunraven Bay under the fingernail. There she is. And the plan as we return is, Finger, to head into those sea caves along there. But we need to give it some time for the, well, we haven't reached low tide yet. So we're going to paddle to Porthcawl, have an ice cream. Head back across to Ogmore by Sea and then along the cliffs. It is just gone 4:30, a lot calmer than earlier on. Tusker is now slowly disappearing, an hour and that'll be gone. So we are making our way over to Newton, just over there. We'll stop for an ice cream and then we're going to wend our way back. Why am I telling you this again? I told you already. Past there, Ogmore by Sea, through the caves, then back to that shadow, the Witch's Nose. Feels like a famous 5 adventure. Return to Tusker Rock. Oh, it is so calm. Flipping heck, on a mill pond in the middle of nowhere. Well, not quite nowhere, because it's only 2 kilometres back to shore, but still 2 kilometres. No porpoise, no seals, but so much blue. Look at that. A tiny sliver of Tusker behind me slipping away. Porthcawl in the distance. Just see that big wheel, and there's a circus fair ride going around. Fair ride into Trecco Bay, which is the biggest caravan park in Europe, let's say. Definitely Wales, and I'm pretty sure the UK. Sweeping round over Trish into Newton Burrows. Used to do cross country there in school. Whoosh. Through to Merthyr Mawr sand dune, second biggest in Europe. So sandy, in fact, they filmed some of Lawrence of Arabia there. Aiming for the slipway, and oh no, it's 5 o'clock on a Sunday. Do you think the ice cream van will have gone? Oh, I am ready to paddy. Gonna have to fall back on coffee. God damn it. That's a camper van, isn't it? I can't see one. We've made it halfway anyway. Newton Beach, Newton Burrows. Incoming tide, incoming Trish. And not as busy as I thought it would be for a Sunday. I'm holding out hope for an ice cream van. Doesn't look good at 5 o'clock on a Sunday. Let's go find out. We are on our way to the ice cream van. It is very exciting. It feels a lot like Challenge Annika. You remember Annika Rice. Why is it still there though? I've been told it's there till late at night. Yes! Oh man. It is ice cream time. Success. And it's gone. The ice cream and Tusker Rock. It's gone. It is 20 to 6 and we are leaving Newton Beach. We're an hour behind my tidal planning. However, it will hopefully mean the flood is a little stronger, which should help us on the way back, and that the caves are a little fuller. So hopefully we'll have a little explore as we go. We may even be a little bit early still. Looking at the beach at Ogmore, it's not up to the rocks yet. Not a single jellyfish yet. It's supposed to be peak jellyfish season. It's peak shark season apparently.
Yeah.
Into Merthyr Mawr sand dunes. It is about 20 to 7 and I am literally sat in the boat waiting for the tide to come in and lift us up. Normal service will be resumed shortly. We got jumping fish. We're approaching the deeps now, Ogmore Deeps, a channel cut into this rock. They're just worn in, fault line. You can jump in on a high tide. I think the fishing's pretty good there. And it leads up into a blowhole in the cliffs, and then super big tide with nice swell, it smashes through and out the blowhole. Bloody super. I guess now we just lollygag our way along and look for caves and gullies. This is the little coast steering section, and then we'll be in the gully in a second. The caves are looking okay. So that's the great big one and the blowhole at the end, and you can climb up at low tide, but it's slippy. I just got my nose and my tail stuck on either wall. I was like, hang on. Wow, that goes right in, as far as I can see. Can you see? But if we go in, I won't get my paddles in to get back out. Look at that. Not bad, hey? there's a cave with a little shelf up there and a gateway. It's my very expensive paddle. Hello. the Witch's Nose right in front of us. We've just got to edge round this little rocky bit sticking out in front of us, and we are there. Here, back, Dunraven Bay, and the car. I think that's the ice house, if you can see it sticking up in the distance, cutched into the trees. The ice house, the old Dunraven estate. They knocked the house down, I think because of roof tax. It was cheaper to knock it down than pay the tax on it. Pretty sad, really. Great big stately home, you have to look it up. Hello. So from Dunraven Bay, a glorious South Wales sunset, a beautiful sea. Thanks for joining us. Catch us again on the next one.